shall be at the ball. Oh, do you think Cinderella will come along? Do you really think so? Princess, pledge me your hand in marriage.
Oh, my Prince Charming, I do so with all my heart.
Oh, I'm so happy. We shall be married in the spring.
Return by midnight, my fairy godmother said. Oh, I'm too late.
Princess, what is it? Princess, what is it? Princess!
She's gone! She's gone! Me Tarzan, you Jade!
Where can she be? Go follow her, Daddy, and bring her back to me. The night the Lord is dark. To follow her is safe.
It seems you're always saying goodbye to people in show business. And it's sad, really. Especially when you've been happy together, like we've been in this pantomime. Of course, pantomime is very special. In England, it's traditional entertainment. Everybody loves it. You know, you see the adults come in and I think they enjoy it as much as the children. But the children are so beautiful to watch. But I just can't help thinking about the children at home in Derry. I keep wondering, well, what they're doing when I'm watching these children here so happy. I suppose I just wish they could be here as well, enjoying it.
You got both done. Oh, it fits! It fits!
It doesn't fit! It doesn't fit!
Madam, it does not fit. Oh! Let the next candidate step forward.
There's no one else.
I'm no candidate for the slipper.
No.
Oh, Dandini, it's useless. I shall never see my loved one again. I shall live the rest of my life alone.
Oh, but there are so many people here. Well, I'm frightened.
Don't you be frightened, Cinders. You go on and have a go, and I'll arrange for the slipper to fit you.
It won't fit her. You got the clock when you were with the not another chance. Oh!
The slipper fits!
Oh, Cinderella! We've always loved you, haven't we? No!
My princess was the little girl in the woods after all. Oh, I'm so happy.
My stage name is Dana, but my real name is Rosemary Brown. And that's who I'm going to be for the next week, because I'm going to have a holiday. And I'm going to start it by going to Dublin with my mother and see the St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Festival of Clay, isn't it lovely? Keeping step with bone shoes. An advert for shoes, is it?
On your...
Would you fancy your husband in one of those kilts? Oh, no. Wave, Lorraine. Oh, look at that.
going good through this detective.
They're gorgeous. Oh, look, that little girl's freezing.
Where?
There.
Yeah.
Huh? The McGann, is it? The McGann School of Irish Dance?
Oh, look at this guy.
It's a place of great fame, and it lies to the north. Now I'll tell you its name. It's my own native birthplace, and it's on Irish soil. Sure they call it lovely Derry, on the banks of the Foyle.
As you know, I've been living away from Derry now for quite some time. And when I come back, it's a lot different for me. You know, when I come back, I really feel like I'm coming home. I get this feeling I'm coming home, but I'm very apprehensive, a little bit nervous. Do any of you get this feeling? You know, if you've been away from home, I know I find how it affects me in my life. I'd like to know how it affects you in your life. For example, how do you feel about you in this situation at the moment?
It's all propaganda. When you go to different countries, all you get, you know, if you mention the Irish at all, they're brought down terrible, you know, and it's all the different channels and, you know, on the television, I think it's their fault they're putting out bad stuff.
So,
you know, bad, they're not giving the right story, and people that don't even know about the troubles say, oh, Irish, you know, the Irish get a terrible name, and the people don't know half of the troubles that's going on at all.
mm-hmm.
And I think that's making it worse, you know. It's spoiling everything too. There's, you know, nice things about Ireland too.
Well, would you say that the people involved in the actual troubles are a minority? Would you say? Would you think that?
I don't really know. You know, things. I know about all the shooting and killing, you know, things like that there, and you get tired of it too.
I'm sure you do. What do you feel about your position in this? I mean, how do you feel at the moment living in this city? Obviously, you haven't got many places to go out to, and that's obviously enough. But how do you find your life going along?
Well, I don't like talking about the troubles. I'm just fed up with everything.
Yeah.
You know, you're afraid to go out. You might be shot. There might be explosions. You don't know what's going to happen. And I don't like talking about the troubles.
I suppose after a while you hear so much about it, and you read so much about it, you just get sick of it. Do you ever, though, sometimes when you're going through your daily life, forget that it's there?
I sometimes, and then you hear the odd shot, and then you're back to square one.
Yes, I see. How many people here would say that they could go through, like one day, let's say they could go through or have gone through one day and have been totally unaware of the troubles?
I think it's very nerve-wracking because I lie in bed at night, and you know, the least noise out in the backyard, I jump. I think it's left me like that. I wouldn't have been like that before, you know. And I think, too, I think you'd find Irish people a really loving race, you know, really neighbourly, all sticking up for one another. If only for this, if they weren't forced into this war situation.
Well, fear is a terrible thing, isn't it? Have you been on holiday lately? Have you been away from the situation? Well, how did you find it when you were coming back home again?
I was dreading it. Terrible that. I just didn't want to come back to Derry, you know, to fighting and hound. It was peace. You know, you never heard of nothing. So it was really great.
I know what you mean. How many other people here have been away? Yes? How did you find it when you were coming back?
I was in England last Christmas,
Uh-huh.
and when we were coming home, we didn't want to come home at all because we had the freedom of England, and there was the shops to go around, all brightly lit. And then coming back to Derry, the streets and some of the shops burnt down. We just didn't feel like coming home. We'd rather stay in England where they had peace and quiet.
Okay, thank you very much.
A reading from the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians. I may be able to speak the languages of men and even of angels, but if I have not love, my speech is no more than a noisy gong or a clanging bell. I may have the gift of inspired preaching. I may have all knowledge and understand all secrets. I may have all the faith needed to move mountains, but if I have not love, I am nothing. I may give away everything I have, and even give up my body to be burned, but if I have not love, it does me no good. Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous, or conceited, or proud. Love is not ill-mannered, or selfish, or irritable. Love does not keep a record of wrongs. Love is not happy with evil, but is happy with the truth. Love never gives up. Its faith, hope, and patience never fail. Love is eternal. There are inspired messages, but they are temporary. There are gifts of speaking, but they will cease. There is knowledge, but it will pass. For our gifts of knowledge and of inspired messages are only partial. But when what is perfect comes, then what is partial will disappear. When I was a child, my speech, feelings, and thinking were all those of a child. Now that I am a man, I have no more use for childish ways. What we see now is like the dim image in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. What I know now is only partial. Then it will be complete. as complete as God's knowledge of me. Meanwhile, these three remain: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love. This is the word of the Lord.
I can remember when I went to church as a young child with my family. I used to love to sit up where the choir sits, up in the balcony. And when I was sitting up there, I could look down at all the different hats that the women used to wear. Of course, you had to wear hats then when you went to church. I used to love the different colours and the different shapes, and some of them used to wear scarves. But today I find when I go to church, I haven't changed all that very much. But now I'm fascinated by people's faces and the way they walk and the way they stand. And especially the older people, their hands and the looks on their faces. You find yourself thinking about what sort of lives they led or are leading. I suppose that's one of the most beautiful things about being in a church, is that you're together with so many different kinds of people. You're able to share something that otherwise you might never touch these people or meet them or see them. And here you are together in this church, and you can actually share a little bit of their lives, and they can share a bit of yours and know your inner feelings. And especially like in the services today, there's a beautiful thing, the sign of peace between people, where you turn to the person beside you or behind you or in front of you and you say, peace be with you, and you hold hands. And you say, bless you. And it's such a beautiful thing, because I remember often thinking when I went to church, each one stood looking at the other people, but it was difficult to make contact except when you all spoke together or sang together. I think that's why people sing their hymns so loud, because it gives them a chance to make contact with the next person. But I love the sign of peace, because you can actually look and touch the person beside you, and they look at you, and it's a very beautiful thing. And it's really beautiful to think of all the different people all over the world, perhaps right on the other side of the world, who are doing the same thing, or at least have the same thought. And really, I suppose it makes them as close to me as the people who are standing right beside me. I think this thought is one of the most beautiful things that you can get, one of the most beautiful experiences of sharing the short time that you're actually in church, when you leave your mind open to these thoughts, and you feel this very close unity to humanity, as well, of course, as to God, because that's the common denominator, I suppose. But I don't always feel this way. Sometimes I go in and I'm so wrapped up in myself and my problems that I don't get anything from the service, because I suppose it sounds like a cliche, but I don't put anything into it. And I come out and I feel terribly bored and I get nothing from it. But when I do sort of feel this way, and I'm aware of this when I'm in this church for whatever length of time, I really feel elated when I come out. I feel like I'd love to touch everybody and throw my arms around them, and all the things you do when you feel really happy and joined to people. A lot of people get this feeling at Christmas time, when it's accepted that you say Happy Christmas and how are you and have a happy time. But you can get this almost any time if you really concentrate and allow yourself to feel it. I couldn't count the number of times I've walked up this street to go to ballet class. I first came here when I was 5 or 6. My mother used to bring me here, or sometimes Aunt Mary used to bring me. My grandmother still has my first ballet dress. She kept it all that time. It's pink. Well, my niece has it now, and she goes to Miss Watson's too.
Ready? First position. Yes, arms up and out. 3, I'm afraid we'll have to go on. Ready? Ellie, 1, 2. Now, Percy, tongue left there. Ready, begin. Step. Step. Arm down. Left arm up. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Donna. Look, you were always late. You were right pair of rascals. Now, look, what kept you late today? Come up to the front. Now, you were late last week and you were late the week before. And how is it you're late today?
I think that was my fault.
Well, it's just like you, Rosemary. You're always being late.
I kept them talking, didn't I?
Did you keep you talking? Oh, we'll have to scold you too then. Well, now run back into your places. And now you're not too late another week. Although, of course, Rosemary came.
I have often heard it said by me father and me mother that going to a wedding was the makings of another. Now if this be so, sure I'd go without a bidding. Oh, kind Providence, won't you send me to a wedding, for it's so dear me. How would it be if I died an old maid in the garret? Well, now there's me sister Jean, she's not handsome nor good looking, scarcely 16, and this fella she was courting. Now she's 24 with a son and a daughter. Here am I, 45, and I've never had an offer, and it's so dear me. How would it be if I died an old maid in the garret? Well, I cook and I can sew, I can make the house right tidy, rise up in the morning and get the breakfast ready. But nothing in this wide world would make me half so cheery as a wee fat man that would call me his own dearie, and it's so dear me. How would it be if I died an old maid in the garret? Oh, but I'm away home. Sure, there's nobody heeding. There's nobody heeding. Dear poor Donna's pleading. I'm away home to me own wee bit garret. If I can't get a man, then I'll surely get a parrot, for it's so dear me. Clap your hands. Would it be if I died an old maid in the garret? Yes, it's so dear me. How would it be if I died an old maid in the garret? Lovely. That then?
Yep,
Time it.
Let's see where we are.
Weren't those kids beautiful this morning?
Oh, they were a gas, yeah.
There was a wee girl there and she was telling me she was eating a dessert yesterday. She had her tooth off.
What, did it off in the middle of the
You
dinner?
swallowed it. Sorry.
Yeah, you don't have to get me to some places. All the way over here to Derry.
Too far. What tape's that? Which one's that? Is it?
This is it, yeah.
Just what? Just...
Here it is. Yeah. Here it is.
Just a bit. That bass voice. Funny man. Seconds. 15 seconds.
That's not really saving very much, is it?
No, it's not.
You know, another thing that worries me slightly about this, I'm not at all sure that these songs are the right ones to do for the O'Keeffe Centre. You know, are they going to be known in Canada? I know they're popular songs in England, but...
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah. Well,
I don't know, really. It's really just trying to get a mixture. I know what songs will be all right, that Irish medley. I didn't tell you, did I? It was an Irishman started the O'Keeffe Centre.
Really?
Yes.
With a name like O'Keeffe, it must be, I
That
suppose.
never dawned on me. That never dawned on me. We'll keep the Irish medley anyway. I don't know about this one. The thing that worries me about it is that it's kind of so long, so early on. 15 seconds off there, that's 5:40.
That's hardly worth bothering about. Let's try that other cut that you suggested in the middle of...
the Smile.
Smile.
Right.
So, I'll tell you what, I'll play it through. We won't bother with it. So it's the first half you want to cut out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you start timing...
How many is that? How 30, 35, 40? Why don't we go back to what do you say? I suppose I came from what would be considered a musical family, because my father was a musician, and everybody in the family loved music. My mother especially loved music. She used to love us all to get together in evenings and sing. And if we had people in, it always ended up by singing, somebody singing or somebody playing the piano. And of course we had to do our part, get up and sing. I used to hate that. Especially in my home, I used to really squirm when they asked me to get up and sing for visitors. And yet I didn't mind doing concerts. I used to do concerts with my father. He was very active in doing concerts for mentally handicapped people and old people. And he taught in the brass band in the local orphanage. He taught the boys in the brass band. But when the first time I had to deal with music as an actual subject, as opposed to just something I did because I loved it. And mind you, I didn't love it all the time. I remember having a terrible fight once because I didn't want to practice the piano. But my mother won. Snowdrops and daffodils, butterflies and bees, sailboats and fishermen, things of the sea. Wishing wells and wedding bells, early morning dew, all kinds of everything remind me of you. Summertime, wintertime, spring and autumn too, Monday, Tuesday, every day I think of you. Dances, romances, things of the night, sunshine and holidays, postcards to write, budding trees and autumn leaves, a snowflake or two. Sing with me, please. Snowdrops and daffodils, butterflies and bees, sailboats and fishermen, things of the sea, wishing wells and wedding bells, early morning dew, all kinds of everything remind me of you. Summertime,
time, spring and autumn too, Monday, Tuesday, every day, I think of you. Dances, romances, things of the night, sunshine and holidays, postcards to write. Budding trees, autumn leaves, a snowflake or two. All kinds of everything remind me of you. All kinds of everything remind me of you.
It's always been important to me, music. In fact, I wanted to teach music. And today, I've been a professional singer now for nearly 4 years. It took me a long time to realize what I was doing, because something that's been a hobby and something you've always done, when you suddenly find it's your job, it's a different thing altogether. During my first week at this school, and that was about, oh my gosh, about 10 years ago, I had a terribly sad experience because I was put into a class with all my friends, and just about midway through the first week they discovered their mistake, and I was put into a class I didn't know anyone. And I thought it was the end of the world. And I was so sad that day, I cried my eyes out. And I decided I wasn't going to go to any classes, that this was definitely the end. And I couldn't get home. I didn't know where to go to. I didn't even know the school. And I walked around the place. And I walked up to the convent where no one was allowed to go. Near the convent, we were only supposed to stay in the school. And I went up there, and there was a little chapel attached to the convent. And I thought, now, if I go in there, they'll come in and find me. So I decided I wouldn't go there, and I found this little pathway at the side of the chapel with steps down it, and just in front of me where the nuns were buried. And I sat down on the steps and I cried and sobbed my heart out. And after a while, I remember very clearly looking down at the graves, and I didn't feel a bit morbid, just a beautiful peacefulness. And there was none of the clutter in the school, and just the fields around me and the river. And it had a beautiful calming effect. And I sat there and I sat there. And finally I just got up on my own and I went back down to the school. So ever since that time, I suppose it's one of the things that's really stuck in my mind, as things do. I used to go there when I used to get terribly fed up. I used to go there, and during exam times, when I was terribly tense and worried, I used to go up there and sit there. In fact, I do the same thing when I'm traveling now. I go and I sit in graveyards. Sounds dreadful, but it's such a beautiful, calm place to sit there and feel completely relaxed, and you can think about anything you want to think about. So I always thought that this was my special place at the school.
In Derry Vale, beside the singing river, so oft I strayed many years ago, and called at noon
think my first thought is, that's a nice tune. I wonder, will they like it? They being the audience. And I suppose it's because I want to feel that I can reach as many people as possible. And there's such a variety of people sitting in front of you in a cabaret club or a concert. You feel that you want to at least touch all of them a little bit in some way, encompass them with what you're saying or what you're singing. Music is the wonderful, wonderful worldwide thing. It's amazing, the power of music, all the different types of music all over the world. And it's a very common language, I think.
I would like to ask Rosemary to sing the song from me that she sang when I was leaving Thornhill.
Oh, yes. Oh, we had a lovely night that night. Well, I'm sorry we can't sing an excerpt from the Mikado, especially for you. I know you love it. Anyway, it's called Just a Closer Walk. That's the one you mean, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. Just a closer walk with thee, granted, Jesus, is my plea. Daily walking close to thee. Oh, let it be, dear Lord, let it be. I am weak, but thou art strong. Jesus, keep me from all wrong. I'll be satisfied as long as I walk. Let me walk close to thee. Just a closer walk with thee. Granted, Jesus, is my plea. Daily walking close to thee. Oh, let it be, dear Lord, let it be. Oh, let it be, dear Lord, let it be.
What I know now is only partial, then it will be complete as God's knowledge of me. Meanwhile, these three remain: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love. This is the word of the Lord.
Please contact the information desk. Assistant Alice Little, please.
British Airways, a announcement for passengers travelling on flight NS 622 to Newcastle. Passengers So we're required for flight NS622 to Newcastle. Are requested to contact desk number 3 on the ground floor where vouchers for night refreshments are not available.
British Canada Airlines, your attention please. With our passengers traveling on the way Internet flight, we are 9:26 to...
Oh, I know a wee spot. It's a place of great fame, and it lies to the north. Now I'll tell you its name. It's my own native birthplace, and it's on Irish soil. Sure, they call it lovely Derry, on the banks of the Foyle.
The departure of the Shamrock Jet flight EI-235 to Toronto. Passengers aboard cars for flight EI-235 should find a seat to get number 4 for embarkation.
Boarding cards? Thank you. Have a nice day.
There's a time for a man when he stands all alone, when the words have been spoken, the songs have been sung, and the clutter of life, like a wave of the sea, draws back to the ocean, and his mind is set free. Oh, the smile of a child, and the terror of pain, the slaughter of war, and the smell of the rain. All the images shatter and slide in his brain, and he looks for an answer again and again. And his life is as dark as a windowless room, and he looks for a candle to lighten the gloom. If he'd open the door and step out like a man, he'd see truth in its beauty, a shine like the sun.
Cinders, I've been meaning to tell you something now for ages and ages, but every time I try and tell you, I never seem to have enough courage, you see, because I'm in love.
In love? Oh, that's funny, because I'm in love too.
Are you, Cinders?
Yes. Well, who are you in love with?
Oh, I'd rather not tell you.
Oh, go on, Buttons. Tell me.
No, I'm shy.
Oh, Buttons, I won't tell anybody.
No, I'm dead embarrassed.
Oh, Buttons, please tell me.
I'm in love with you, Cinders.
Me? Oh,
Honest I am. I think you're the most smashingest, wonderfulest girl in all of the world. Honest I do.
cross your heart.
Caress me heart.